Welcome back everyone. Today we're in the Giants editor and I'm Jewel, and as you can see we're on the 10.0.3 version of Giants editor for Farming Simulator 25. Today we're going to do a tutorial on how to make a flat blank map and also how to get the vehicle shop to show up. It will work even if you don't delete it in the game, but if you go in there, it won't show the information, like the little basket and stuff, after you've deleted everything. So, other than that one. So we're going to get started. Appreciate everybody. Hope you've been enjoying the tutorials. Stay tuned. There'll be more of that and more gameplay as soon as possible. Alright, what you're going to do is open up your Giants editor to the 10.0.3 version for Farming Simulator 25, and then click File. Click New Mod from Game, and you're going to make you a new map by clicking on this little All button on the left hand corner, hitting Maps, and picking the map you want. Now the Map US one doesn't have dirt texture on it. You can add that later, and I'll show that later, but the EU one does have it, and I think the AS one does, I'm not sure. But we're going to get this one and click OK. So pick which one you want, and then highlight, left click here at the end, hold down left mouse button, drag over to highlight mod map US in front of this /. Leave this one because it's going to make that folder if you don't already have that folder, and that it's already titled here, and it'll put the map in that folder. Now name your map whatever you want to call it, and I don't know, we'll just call it good map, just so I can know what it is. Underscore FS25. You put whatever you want to call your map in that spot, and it's going to create it to here. Click OK, wait, be patient, it's going to take some time. Don't click anything, be patient. And once it's done, we'll see the map pop up, and we can get on started and start showing you what to delete and what other things to do. It's going to take a little bit, it's going to be a little longer video, and I'm not trying to make the video long, but if you want to follow all the steps that you pretty much need to do, then you got to do this. Now you can do some shorter cuts if you didn't want to do some of those things, as you see, but it depends on how you're wanting to set it up. So that's how that works, and then I'll show you all of it in game, that it works and why certain things work as best I can. And hopefully if you have any questions, leave me a comment and I'll do my best to answer it. I'm not a perfect expert or anything like that. I just know some things. Some things, in the future, if I ever make a mistake, then I correct it. You learn as you go on new things. So we'll see what happens on some of the new stuff they have. But most of it's pretty straightforward and it's easy, and you can learn. Now we're going to go ahead and open this. It's almost through. Still don't click anything. Now it's here. Give it just a second, make sure. Alright, we're going to leave the sun, the camera, the terrain is this. We're going to leave that alone. We're going to leave the career start point. Going to open up the gameplay. We're going to be deleting a bunch of this, so I'm going to just call out the name and delete. So that's what you're going to do. Highlight it and delete. The billboards we're going to delete. The barrels we're going to delete. The museum we're going to delete. The park shop we're going to delete. The wagons we're going to delete. The collectibles we're deleting. Destroyable objects. We're going to open the fields. We're going to click on the first one. You technically don't have to keep one, but just for example's sake you can. But you technically, the way they have it, you don't have to do that. But we're going to click field. We're going to roll down to the bottom of the fields, to the end, hit shift, control, hold it down, left click, let go of shift and control and the left click, and hit delete. Go up and it'll leave that one because I highlighted it. It'll leave that one, but sometimes I don't know if everybody just does that way, but my computer does. It leaves the one even though it's highlighted. So that's up to you. If yours does something different, then go to the second field and do it that way. We're going to delete the football field, the guided tours. We're going to leave the map boundaries for a reason, so I can show you an example of something. But you can delete these and then make your own. And I'll show that later in a future video. This is the little map X's at the ends. We're going to delete those where you come off the edge of the map. This is the NPC spots where like Grandpa and all those people are, like the animal dealer lady and all those. Delete that. River, delete. You could delete all the splines and bring them in later. We'll skip that for a second. We're going to keep the vehicle shop here. This is something we're going to set up, and we're going to delete the water planes as you see here. So get the whole group and delete. I'm going to go ahead down and finish up some deleting, then we'll come back to the traffic splines. Click open the map. I'm going to leave locations for now. We're going to delete the background, which is all around the edge. Now if you're not making the map flat and you need this to meet up and you want to keep this outer edge, then don't make the map flat, because this won't meet up to the edge of the map anymore. So you'd have to make a whole new outer edge if you wanted one, or unless you were putting ocean out there or whatever. So then I'm going to delete that because it's going to be a flat blank map. The creeks I'm deleting, and everything else all the way down the bottom, everything but the locations, and then we'll do some deleting in there in just a second. So just go all the way down, and you could do it all at once, but sometimes computers don't like that, so I'm just trying to show it one by one, so maybe some of the people, can't handle it with their computer. We'll open this, but we'll come back to it in a second. We're going to do the traffic spline thing. Now if you want to keep some information here, click it open and click on this first spline. Click user attributes. If you don't have this, click window, click attributes, and you'll have it, and then you can get user attributes in there. They used to have user attributes separate in a box of its own. I wish they still did, but they don't. And you can also open terrain editing here, and so on, console, and the material editing and all the things you need. We're going to highlight this. It shows these numbers, the speed scale and the speed limit. So that's the information you would have had to add through this, because this sets it up. I think I have a video showing a little about that, but I'll do a future video, but technically you don't need it if it's already set up. You can just copy it, duplicate it. So we're going to leave one. We're going to check the next one. It's the same. They're probably mostly all the same. I'm pretty sure they are. So we're going to leave them. We're going to leave one with that title at the top, traffic splines, and then we'll come to the end of the splines. We're going to hit shift control first, then left click on the last one, and then click delete. You're let go of it right when you hit shift and control and click, then let go of the buttons. Now it's left that one. Now we're going to open up this one, and we're just going to keep one, even though we could do it. We're just keeping one just for reference sake, and it's the same as that spline. If you click over here, it's the same one, but we're just keeping the namesake, the spline namesake and the crossroad namesake. You don't have to. You could delete all that, and you will get errors, but it doesn't matter, because you're going to know you hadn't done your splines yet. That's why you have an error. When you do your splines, the error will go away. So we're going to go ahead and click on this one, and we're going to come all the way down to the end of this crossroads and hit shift control, left click on there, and then delete. And it'll leave that one that we left highlighted right there. That's the only one it'll leave. Now we're going to choose the cars. Same thing. If you want to keep one so you can duplicate from and leave the title of the parked cars, do that. Click the top parked car and roll to the bottom of the list. Come on down, shift control, left click, and then delete. You're going to go back up again. You're going to come to AI. Same thing. You could delete all these because you can make your own. But if you want the information again, you're going to open this up, click here, and you'll click user attributes, and you'll see it says 1 and 30. Then you click under it, and it'll say 1 and 87. So you might want those two. You technically would have the spline 1 and 87, but you want the other one. So you click this second one, it'll leave it still. It's only going to delete from here down. It'll still leave that one even though it's highlighted, and come all the way down. And there may be some different ones. You can check through each one and see by clicking on the user attributes. And you can come on down to the bottom right here, and you can hit shift control, left click, and then delete. Go back up. You're going to come to pedestrian, and same thing. Check this one. Check user attribute 0.2 standard and 2. So we want to check the next one, 0.1 standard and 2. So they're two different ones. And if you check through them, you may find another one. I don't know if there is another one. I hadn't looked, but we're at least going to keep these two and as an example and something to duplicate from when we make those splines for the pedestrians. Alright, so we're going to leave that one highlighted because we're keeping that one. It won't delete that one unless yours does. Then you would go under it and delete from here. Alright, and you're going to go all the way down to there, right there, shift control, left click, and delete. Then you're going to decide what you're going to do with the, where are we here, static groups. What those are, if you open it up, go on and open it up, it's the NPCs. It's the ones that are at the gas stations and places, and it's not any information on these. Except probably that. This is the only information there. So you would get an error for that if you leave it. So we're going to just delete it, but we're still going to get the spline error one. But we're going to go ahead and delete this, and we can bring this in later if we want that, or if you leave it, just know you could get an error from it. Okay, and hit delete. All right, and then leave the trigger markers. I'm going to go ahead and close spline since we're done with them. Leave the trigger markers, leave the vehicle shop. We'll close it since we're done with it for now. We'll come back to that. Come in here into this, open the buildings, and you're going to be deleting some of this. We're going to look at the buying station, I believe, area. And let me have a look. What are we going to keep? There was something where we're going to keep in here. Let me find it. Where is it? Selling station. Okay, open selling station area. Let me see. Where's it at? There it is, up top. I'm looking too far down. Vehicle trader, that's the one that you want to focus on. We're wanting this information here. So what we're going to do is highlight this information only. In this case, there's a lot of ways you could do it. We're going to first we're going to go ahead and start deleting the things around it. Okay, we're not going to delete the vehicle one yet, the trader one. We're going to delete the gas station unless you wanted to keep some of these. We're going to skip that. Go to the animal trader and all the rest of these. I'm going to delete all the rest, so I'm going to highlight this one and delete everything else all the way to the bottom. Shift, control, left click, delete all the rest. Now we're going to delete the lime station because it left that one. And then we're going to come up here. We're going to click on this one, pre-placed selling station vehicles. We're going to hit the middle scroll wheel and drag it out. Okay. Then we're going to delete the vehicle trader cluster. Okay. And we should be fine. I don't think we're going to get an error from that. Wait a minute. Did it keep it? Yeah, it did. Okay. And this is what we're going to keep. We're going to put it back in. We're going to click on it and put it back in the buying station area. And then we're going to open it. You can see, so you can see the information in it. And that's all the stuff. It's got the vehicle trigger, the place where you get the paint and work on the vehicle, and you can sell the vehicle or return a vehicle right next to where the normal map has the buy place where you buy the stuff. That's right next to it, that place. That's what a selling station place is. In a little bit, we're going to be doing some information over here in the user attributes right here, and I'll be showing you that soon. Same with this vehicle shop. We're going to be setting this up soon. So we're going to be tending to that later. We got to go on and get moving though, so we're going to go on and back out. And I could show you something first. Let's go ahead and save it since we deleted everything that we needed. And we're going to pop out of here and show you where it put it, and then show you what we need to do from there. So it's going to put it in documents, my FS25 mods. Come in here and you'll see the map. You come in here and you open maps US, and then data, and you'll see it has all this information. See this stuff painted down? That's what the original, which is the Riverbend map. So we're going to be, when we're finished what we're doing, it's going to all be black, because it's going to accept these, of course. And then we'll get errors from these, because that's typically normal when you start a map. It'll change later. We'll tend to that later. And then you'll have these in here we'll tend to later as well. But these are all going to go black. These over here aren't. The mask aren't. So I just wanted to show you that first. What we're going to do then, before we change everything, is we're going to go ahead, since we saved it, and X out. We'll hit save again, and I'm showing you this for a reason. Now what you're going to do is come right back to it, or just go to Documents, My FS22 Mods, double click, click on Good Map, right click and click Copy. Okay, now we're going to go to Documents, go to My Games, double click, FS25, double click, Mods, double click, right click, and click Paste. We're putting it in here. Now we're going to open it back up and then do our work, and then it's already in the mods folder. So when we get through and we save everything, everybody's going to the right place. We're working from the right folder, which will be this one, in the mods folder, and we'll go in game and test it after. So hit Maps US, then double click on Map US i3D, and then click OK. So it opens it back up. Let it open, be patient, give it a second, and then we'll move on to the next step. We're going to start making the map flat and all that good stuff. So we're going to come over here, back up, and make the map flat. And you're going to go ahead and get your sculpt mode on. And you're going to come to, there we go. And you're going to come to here and make this 2500. Yours won't be, mine was, just because I already did it before. and then you're going to put this brush on square, then you're going to put the hardness all the way up, and you're going to put the opacity on the left mouse button all the way up. You're going to put this left mouse button on replace, then you're going to come down, and you notice this 49. That's an important number, because if you want to leave that vehicle trader thing where it can be seen on the map and not go under the map, then you want to leave it at that level, because if you'll click, I'll briefly show you really quickly. Here's the trigger. We're going to hit F to go to it, and if I have this sculpt mode still on, so if you see I hover over it, it's got that line. If I was to hit, since I have it on replace right there, if I hit Control R, it's going to read this information right here, and it's 48.976, which is basically 49. So we're going to leave it at 49. And basically, if you flatten the map at that level, then if you don't want to move this, it'll stay there, and you don't have to delete it or move it or do anything else to it. It'll be there, other than add the thing to the icon and all that show up. So that's how you do that. If you don't, or you can make the map higher, but you'll have to move this, or because this will be under the map. If you make this any higher than this, it's going to cover this up, and then you have to move it and do some other things. So that's all I'm showing you there for that sake. So we're just going to leave it at 49 for this example. You can put it at 80 or whatever, because you're going to want to go down for a pond. You need to have ability to go down low enough for a pond or whatever, and then or pit or digging thing or whatever you're doing, and to go up for like mountains and hills and whatever. So you don't want to top yourself out. I think it's 255 or something, or 250, 255 is the top, and so limit on height. So that's all it is for there. We're going to go ahead and click off of here for a second and back out. Give it a second. We're going to back out so we can do this. Now we're going to go ahead and click back on sculpt mode. We already set everything up, so we're ready to go. So all we got to do now is left click and start dragging it around very carefully, because this is really big and it's doing a lot at once, and your computer might not be able to handle it. Some computers struggle and could crash. So just click once, let go, give it a second, click again. Or if you're dragging it, just let go after you drag it a little, like hold left mouse button down for a second or two, then let go. Don't just, mess yourself up. And just keep going till you get it all taken care of, till you feel like you did it enough to get it good and flat. And you can see it stops dragging for a second because it's trying to do all of its work. That should be good enough. Now we're done with that. We're going to go ahead to the texture mode, the paint mode, the train detail texture paint mode. Click that. Let's do the same thing. Put the brush size 2500, put it on square, leave it on add, roll down to this texture layer, click it, go to the grass, come over the map, left click. Now you've made sure you painted all that. Now we're going to move along to the foliage layer. We're going to skip the other thing for now. Put it on 2500 if it's not already. You can move these opacity and hardness up if they're not already up. Put it on square brush, leave it on add. You're going to come down. You can put this on terrain detail right here. And you're going to come over here and you're going to left click once, and then you can see it's not moving with the mouse because it's working. So you're going to do it a couple times just to make sure it gets everything. And it probably already has. And then you're going to, as soon as it moves, you're going to go on back over here. And I'll briefly roll in just so you can see what's going on. I'm going to turn this off, hit Alt, use the right mouse button, pressing and holding, releasing as I hold the Alt button to get down here, and steering with it. And you see these trees, there's a couple different ones, darker ones, and these I'm going to show you up close, then I got to back out. So you're going to click on the foliage layer again up top, and you're going to come over here, put it on Deco Bush, and you come over here and you already have it on add, which is fine, and left click, and it's deleting the ones you just saw it delete. Then you're going to come to Deco Bush US, then you're going to left click and give it a second. It'll take a second. So it's doing a lot of stuff, and it deletes all that, the bushes and the grass stuff and anything pretty much extra than that. And so that's how you do that. So I'm going to back out now and do the whole thing in a large scale. I just did that so you could see, so you would understand. So now we're going to try to get back squared up a little for the view Alright, so now I got to do this one again and then the other one. We'll click back on foliage. Make sure you click it up here at the top, because if you're over on foliage here, sometimes it still don't count. You could still be on this one over here and it won't be doing what you need to do. Click it at the top. Okay, so now we're going to left click over this. Since we did that, you can see it's not moving, so it's working. So give it a second. Don't try to click anymore. Click once at a time. Give it a second. See, it's not moving with me. So you're just giving it time to make sure we get every little bit. So that should be it there. Let it finish up that last little bit, and then we'll come click this as soon as that moves. Now click this, roll up, deco bush. We'll do this one once, and it's good. You see it moves a little quicker because it's not as much of that. And that is it for that. So now we're going to move on to the terrain info paint layer mode. Click it, and you're going to put this on 2500. You can do the same. You really don't have to move those up. Put it on square. Roll down, come to the environment thing. It's already on there, so you're going to click 0, and then you're going to hover over this and right click. Notice, right click. Do not left click, right click in this case. Alright, and then we're going to go to indoor mask. We'll come back to farmlands. Go to indoor mask, click the 0, and then right click on the whole thing. Make sure it all goes. Come to the next thing, hit 0, and come over it completely, right click. Do that all the way down the list, hit 0, come over, right click. And I'll explain something about that in just a second. 0, right click. But you can see it's the river bend stuff, so we don't want that. We're going to be doing our own. It'll be generating our own. So we're just doing each one the same way, every one of them. Come to the next one. Now this one's important. They're all important, but this one was, and they may all have the same function, but this one was the main one. I noticed that if you don't put this one on the 0 and do the right mouse click on it, it will not let you place buildings down properly. It'll say, yo, this is areas restricted, and so you got a right mouse click with that for sure. This one is the main one that I noticed won't let you do that. So field type, you're going to do the same, hit 0. It's pretty much there. We're going to right click, and that does that. So now we've done all those. Come to farmlands. Now we're going to click on lands, scroll to the bottom, click non-buyable, come over here. You can do either one, left click or right click, then left click. I'm just going to go ahead and right click, then left click, and then that's going to turn it into non-buyable. Or you can check all the boxes, same thing. It checks them for you if you click it on the non-buyable in the lands. Click on it and go to the top of the list. Click on farmland, and you can see now it popped to the purple. That means it's non-buyable. That's the color for the non-buyable. That means, like, for the rivers, you don't want people to buy, roads. Maybe if you don't, it depends on what you want. Then we're going to do 5 of them. In this case, we don't want to do this whole list right now, so we're going to just do 5. We'll do farmland 1, but before we do, we're turning off the info layer. We're going to come to fields just to see where that one field is, just for the sake of the video. It's not, you don't have to do it this way, and then we're going to know to paint the first farmland there. And now we're going to put the info layer back on. We're going to shrink the brush size down to 600, and then we're going to roll the scroll wheel to make the brush change. And then just this little corner, we're just going to left click once to paint that for farmland 1. So that area is farmland 1. Now we'll click the lands area, click farmland 2, and we're just going to paint farmland 2 however we see fit. We'll go bigger, like here, and we'll just drag it on out, just as something to make a shape so we can tell it's something we just did. And we're going to left click and go to 3. Do the same thing. We're just going to grab it up to the next to that and go all the way this way, just to show the example. Then number 4. Now you're going to be painting them obviously different than this, and you're going to be leaving some places purple, but I'm not going to leave any purple in this case. But if you do, it'll just be an area that's non-buyable, meaning you won't be able to place a building there. You'd have to do that through your own method here, not for them to place a building there in the game. All right, and then number 5, and then we'll make sure you fix that in the farmland area. So we're just gonna do this, so we'll know that that's kind of what we did. So there's all of it's painted. Make sure you get every little pixel. Now remember, you can leave some of the purple for the area, say the river or whatever you had left, for the non-buyable. Okay, and you can tend to that in the farmland XML. because you still have to do stuff there. Now we've done all the farmland stuff on that. We click off and we can click back on and you'll see it. Hang on, give it a second. Click off, click back on, and that's what it looks like. And so now we need to do some other things. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna click on this procedural placement. Now I'm not 100,000% sure on everything to do with this yet. I hadn't really got to look at it much yet. Like I say, I hadn't been messing with the Giants editor lately, up until recently. So I'm just now digging into it, the new one. So the way I see it, I don't know for certain. So do this part at your own discretion. We'll put it on 2500 here, and then we'll put it on the square brush, and then we'll come down to the procedural placement and click on the procedural placement area and click the PG forest and make sure it pops up at the top on this purple pencil for the procedural placement layer paint mode, and come over it. And my assumption is you do the same thing here, but I can't give you the answer of all the details right now of why and everything, because I'm not certain. I hadn't looked at it, but it didn't seem to change anything in the little mask area when I do that, even though those are the same ones. There may be something else I needed to do that I didn't do, but you'll see it and you'll see the logs. You'll know if it shows anything to do with it or not. So we're going to right click just like we've been doing, and like I say, I'm not certain on this part. So I'm just going to do it anyway because that's not our stuff that we have going, so I'm assuming that's what we do, and we'll see. So that's not our roads and everything. You get what I'm saying? So none of that is. So I'm just right clicking it, and if go down the list, try not to miss anything, and we'll do that. Right click and go down, right click, and then go down, and I'll show you when we get there what I mean about all that. And I'm not sure, like I say, I'm not sure of everything else yet with this. I have to look into it. I haven't even tried or watched anything that really tells you anything. So done with that, and now we're going to get ready to set those pieces of information. You see it popped up procedural placement here, so it did that. Now there's probably some other things that I hadn't noticed that I would be doing, but so far that's all. And we're going to click off of that. It shows this again. We're going to go ahead, come up here to scripts, shared scripts, map, and create ground collision map. Before we do that, I want to show you something. There's a reason I'm showing you. Terrain info layer, click that. Come back over here to info layer, go down to that one I was talking about, placement collision generated. You'll see it's all white. Well, when I do that other thing just now, it's going to change. So we're going to click off of it for a minute. We're going to turn that off. Just give it a second. And then we're going to go scripts, shared script, map, create ground collision map. Give it a second. Let it make a little movement on the screen. You'll see it did it. You see it did it. Now we're going to go ahead and turn that back on and go to that same placement collision generated, and look around the edge. It generated that border. You say, what border? The map border we left. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I left it, to show you that. So you can kind of have a concept of what's going on when you do things. Okay, so that's what that is. I just wanted to show you so you can learn. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the shop trigger. But first, before we set this part up, we're going to open it and get it ready. But we're going to go get some information we need in the main game files. So let's go do that. This is that one. We'll be coming back to that one soon. So we'll go ahead and hit save in the meantime, just to get that going. We'll have to save again in a minute. We can turn that off up there. Now we're going to head out. We're going to click on this and go to File Manager or File Explorer and open this. And we're going to go to we're going to go to the main game. So I'm going to leave that open to the map where we already opened it. Leave yours. Right click on your File Explorer. Click this File Explorer thing again to open a new tab. Make it big. And then come to wherever you put your game at. If it's on C drive, D drive, wherever. Mine's on D drive in Steam Library. Yours may be somewhere else. Click wherever it is. Steam Apps, double-click .com and double-click. FS25, double-click. Data, double-click. Maps, double-click. map US, double click, config, double click. Now there's a couple ways you can do it, but I'm just going to copy them all real quick just to save time, because I'd have to come get this and the farmlands, at least in this instance. There may be other things you want to get and change later. You'll have to do a pedestrian system later, so you could go ahead and leave it, but for now we're going to leave it out of there for error's sake, so it don't show errors, because we're not ready to do it. You can come get this later when you're ready to do it, or you can leave it and don't worry about the errors until you do it. So just bear that in mind. You're going to click here, highlight it all, let go, right click, click copy not cut, because this is your main game area. Click off of it, then just minimize it, and you'll pop right back where you should be. If you didn't pop back right where you should be, go back to documents, my games, double click, FS25, double click, mods, double click, and the map you made, double click, maps, double click, map US, double click, config, double click. You're going to come in here. Now you already have these, but we're going to delete them. Okay, so highlight them, right click, and it didn't copy, so we got to go back, click back to the page we were at. When I did it, it didn't copy it. Got to highlight these, right click, and click copy. Make sure you get it on there, then minimize. Now we'll go back to here, right click, and paste. It says replace, yes, replace the files. Now it did that. We're going to come in here. Now we're just going to delete the weed, because I'm not going to be messing with that in this instance. I'm going to delete the pedestrians, the football field, the fields, because I'm not going to be doing any of that in this video. The environment, it's all going to be called from the main game. I'm not changing any of that for this example. So those are we're deleting, and you could leave the collectibles, but it's going to show errors for it because you hadn't set it up. But if you don't care about that, leave it, whatever, set it up later. But for now, we're just going to delete it, like I say, and the AI system. And we'll get, like I say, the spline AI, the traffic system will delete. We will get errors for that because of the splines we left on the map. But you could have deleted them and brought them in later just to avoid that. So now we're going to do this. We have all our information in here that we need. We're going to start with placeables. Right click, edit with Notepad++. We're going to find the one that we want to keep. And you say, which one is that? The one that we did, the store, the selling station vehicles. So look down your list, try to find it. I might have passed it. Let me see. We got the vehicle trader one. Here it is. This is what you want. Selling station vehicles, vehicle trader map icon. You're going to want to grab behind, left click behind the placeable thing, go up to the vehicle dealer one, right click, hit copy, scroll to the bottom, click at the end of this one here and hit enter. Right click over here where the cursor is and hit paste. Okay, then you're going to click above this line you just pasted, click left click, hold it down, drag all the way up to the top, and then come back down a little to the train system, all the way to the corner left. Let go of the left mouse button, hit delete, hit save. We're going to call from this unique ID. We're leaving that alone. We're leaving this alone. It's going to call that picture for the icon of that building. Now if you're changing that yourself, you're making a custom one, you're going to need to map what custom one you do in the picture that you make and put that in your map area to be able to use it and call it from. Or you'd be making a new one of these. If you deleted that and you have to go in the main game to get one, which I'm just going to show you where it's at, then you're going to have to do it all from scratch that way if you delete it. Okay, you can delete all those and just go from scratch completely. Okay, we're going to go back to the file manager. After you hit save, make sure you hit save. Go back to the data, the one that's the main game stuff, and you're gonna come back to, you're gonna back up here, click backwards, map US, come back again, maps, come back again to data. Okay, so you're gonna come to placeables, double click it, hit map US, double click, come down to selling points, double click, come to selling station vehicles, double click. And now you're going to take this XML here, this little blue one, or whatever yours looks like, it'll be the XML one, and you're going to right click and click copy. But you could have imported, like I say, this i3D into your map to do yours from scratch without leaving the one they already had, but at this point it's already there and calling this one, so ain't no need to do it. It's already there. So I don't even have to put that in and then delete it later because it's already there. We're just going to change some information and we're going to be good. We're getting this so we can change the information. If we don't get this, we can't change where we put it on the map because we got to change some stuff in here, but we got to leave some stuff in here as well. So right click copy on the selling station XML, minimize, and minimize that. Come back to your map you're working on and you're going to paste that in here. Right click and paste. If I open it up, right click and hit edit with Notepad++, you'll see this information. We're going to leave this. It's going to call the i3D, that little thing we left in the map. It's going to call that from this i3D in the main game. We don't change that. The only thing we're going to be changing is these two lines where we move the shop. You say, well, what's the shop doing in the selling station when they're two different things? Exactly. I don't know why they did that. Usually they take this hotspot line and put it in the map XML area. They've got it in here now, so that's where we got to do it from. That's why if you don't do this in here, or you don't call yours to here, your information is not going to do right. So you've got to do it that way. Your shop will still show up. It won't show the icon unless you have that other information in there for the map icon to show up. So this is what's going to help you, this right here. So we're going to go back in the game and get the information real quick. So not the game, but the editor. And we're going to come in here and you're going to go to your vehicle shop trigger and we're going to move it to where we want it. Okay, so we're not going to move the vehicle shop. It's at 000. We're going to leave that. We're only going to move this trigger. And you can see those are the numbers now. And if I click back on here, I'm going to hover over it. You'll see that's the numbers there. 128.49.2 and then 162. And of course it has the negatives. So if you go back here, you'll see the same numbers. See it? Except that one says 161, which they rounded or whatever. But that's fine. So that's what those numbers are. We're going to change it. We're going to move it so we can change it in there. Now we're going to go on into the map so we can see where we want to put it. And we're just going to hover over here and we'll say, well, let's find out where our field is so we don't go putting it over there. I don't want to put it over there. I'm going to put it somewhere else. So that's over there. We're going to put it over here. Okay? So we're going to click off of that. We're going to put it, click back on the vehicle shop trigger. Control B as in boy, left mouse click, left mouse click. Click it again, make sure it's there, go down. Go all the way up to it, and we're going to paint over it, just to signify it's there. You can see the icon, it's right there. So after you get ready, we're going to click on terrain, texture paint mode. We're going to bring down the brush size to like 5 and roll up to here. We're going to left click and it should paste. Okay, we gotta put it on the right thing. We got it on grass. We got to put it on something. We'll put it on concrete. We're going to paint here. We're just given a square to try to work from. We're going to put stuff here, and that's why we're painting it here. Pretend this is our little parking lot or whatever you want to call, whatever you made, okay? Because I'm just doing it roughly and quickly because we're not trying to make a map yet. Alright, so there's the icon, there's that. We got to get these numbers though. So leave that highlighted and grab these numbers. So turn this off of the terrain paint thing. Click at the end of this, right at the very end, and hit Shift Control C as in cat. Hover back down to your little XML, click on it, open it up, come in here, left click here, and hold down the left mouse button, come over to the 2, and leave those other spot at the end there, and click right click and click paste. Okay, leave that alone. Do the same here. Make sure you get rid of that negative. Come to the 2, right click and paste, but then you're going to delete the middle number, which is just 49, and you'll click one more back to get rid of the space there, but you don't want to get rid of the 1. So backspace, backspace, backspace. That fixes it to the right spot. Go ahead and hit save. We're done in here. This little wrench is going to be in the game. It's going to work. It's going to show the stripes. It's going to do all this, call all this. Everything else is done on that. So now we're done and we put it where we're going to put it, but we still need to move the other part. So let's go back to the Giants editor. We need to come and open. We need to open. Well, you can click on those. I want to show you. Click on that marker icon and you'll see it popped up here and all that popped up there. So all that's went with it. So all those will be there. your vehicle player spawn, it'll pop you right there by it. So that's all correct because we've already moved it with that, what we just did. So now we're going to click on the spawn place number 1 store spawn. And we're going to put it off over here. Actually, we'll put it over here. It's going to run this way. So we're going to highlight that first one and hit Control B as in boy, left mouse click, left mouse click. Now it might actually go that way. We may have to put it on this side. We're going to click the one under it and see, okay, it's going out. So we're going to pull it backwards or pull it to this side. So I'm going to click back on the start one and I'm going to put it over here at the bottom. Control B as in boy, left mouse click, left mouse click. Now it's going to throw the other one this way. So the vehicles are going to face this way. So if you were to start driving, you'd be driving off that way. So the blue tells you which way you're going to be driving off to. Think of it like that. Okay? And now if you click back on the first one, you see that's the area that's going to fall in. Okay? And I'm good with it being however it looks. That you just need to angle it up however you want it in your little scene that you make. Okay, now that part's done. Now we got to go to the second one. We're going to open it and we're going to Control B as in boy, and we'll bring it over a little forward here, and it should do the same thing. Click that one and it moves over. So they're going to start loading here, and if this one gets full, it'll start loading there. Start here and go that way. So those two are done. Now we're going to hit save. So we've done that. Okay? So those two things are done, except we're still not done. We need to go click on the pre-placed selling station vehicles. Click on user attributes. This information here we need to path to our new selling station vehicle XML, because that information is what's telling it where to put this thing we just moved, this little vehicle shop trigger thing. And we still got to move this one because we want to move it. So we're going to move it over here next to this, and we'll just drive off over here to sell it. So what we're going to do is click on pre-placed selling station vehicles and hit Control B as in boy, left mouse click, left mouse click. And now it's going to put it right there. I'm not trying to be fancy because I'm not trying to do anything but show you. We're going to put it on asphalt just to change the color so we can see it. We'll paint theirs just because we don't have a building to show us. And then we're good. That one's done. We don't have to do anything other than we're going to change this information. We're going to wait and hit save in a minute when we get the information we need. Go back to your file manager. Go back to, don't go to the main game one, go to your map one, good map, or whatever you named your map. You're going to come in here and you're going to see it says maps US config selling station vehicles. That's the path you're going to need to put in that area in the Giants editor. So, but in the meantime, I would go ahead instead and open up store items one, right click, edit with Notepad++, come in here, find the selling station vehicles. You're gonna come over this one and you're gonna leave this last little bit and you're gonna get rid of the information you don't need. So I'm gonna click right there at the front of that and backspace all that because that's not what my path is. I'm gonna come all the way to map US. Okay, and I'm going to get rid of placeables and data. Okay, and I'm going to type what mine is, maps, and then it's maps US, then click behind the / type config, because that's what mine is, I'll show you in a second, and then / and then selling station vehicles, maps US, config, selling station vehicles, map.xml, hit save. Okay, I'm leaving all the rest of this. You can delete all that or bring it in later, or if you're going to put it there, all of it, then leave it because it's going to call all that, and then you can change what paths that you actually put in your map. If you put this one in your map custom, then you need to change it just like we just did this one. If you don't and you just leave it just like it is, then you can leave it like that. Okay, so now we're going to go back. We're going to copy this, and I'll show you that it is that path. We're going to highlight that, just leave that little part out. Right click and click copy because we're going to copy this in the here, and I'm going to go ahead and copy it in here and then show you that it is the right path. On pre-placed selling station vehicles, come up here and move over to the beginning of the XML file name and click here and highlight all that information, right click on it and click paste. We just placed ours in there. We're leaving the vehicle a unique ID for it because it's going to call that. But now we have our path to call it for these vehicle shop trigger, and the spawn for the vehicles where they pop up, information's called in there because we changed those numbers in there. That's why it does it. Now we're going to hit save and we're done with that. Now we're going to go on back to the File Explorer, so we're not through. And since we did that, now we got to put the information to call the store items. But I want to show you maps US config selling station vehicles, and that's what we just put in the map in that area. If you didn't see it, look at it again. Maps US config selling station vehicles XML. It's exactly the same. Make sure whatever your path is, you put your path, not my path, your path. Yours is different or another name, then you put that. Okay, now we're going to do farmlands, and then we got to do the map US XML. Right click, edit with Notepad++. We're going to leave these 5 since we did 5 of them. When we want to go ahead and say they're the whole, that we can own everything, only so I can show you that you can place things down. Otherwise you could change these if you only wanted 1 or 2 to say the default property, or you wanted whatever you wanted. So depends on how you're setting up your farmlands and fields, you know, because you're going to be knowing what you want. There's 1 farmland to a field, so how they changed it. So we want to get rid of these so we don't get necessarily an error. So we're going to come down here and grab this front line of information here, hit copy, go up to number 6 since we didn't do any but 5, and we're going to click in the front of it, right click and click paste. It's going to knock all that out, and since we already had a close right here, we don't have to do that. But if you didn't, you would right click and click copy, and you would put it wherever you wanted to close it at. Since we wanted to close that one, since we didn't even paint none of that, then we're okay with that. Then we're going to leave the farmland and map ones green, purple, or whatever color that is, and leave all that. But now we got to hit save, and now we're good there. Now we're going to minimize that, come back to here, and we're done with the placeables. We'll show you that again real quick, what it looks like. This we're done with. Now if you did it on your own and put this in here after you deleted it in the map and made your own, then you would need to go get this line of information, these two, this one and this one, or at least this one if this one's already here, and put that in your map if you want that same picture, or put your own picture wherever you got it mapped to, and you would put the file path to it. And if you have a / here because you didn't have this, you need to delete that / that's only right here between these two things, see, like this one is, because then you'll have this one here and you won't need 2, or you won't get the icon, it won't show up. So you need to delete that one if you do add this information after you've done this one. Okay, so we're done with that. Now we're going to go to back up 1 to Maps US, come to mapus.xml, and then edit with Notepad++. We got to come in here to the farmlands and take away data and the / and the little $, because this is our path. You put your path, whatever it is. Maps US config farmlands for me. Yours could be something else. Same for store items. We just changed that, so we're going to take away map data and the /, leave the rest of it, and then you're going to hit save and put whatever your path is. I don't know what your path is, but that is my path. I'm going to show you really quickly. I'm trying to be quick about it. It's going to be a long video. Okay, so it's maps US config, and then store items. See, maps US config farmlands. That's what we just did. So if we go back to where we were, maps US config store items, maps US config farmlands. That's what we changed. Now if you're having an error with the missions, because we did delete those, you should be able to just delete these. But if you don't want to do that, you want to try to figure them out later, then come grab this green information again, right click, hit copy, come up here to the missions right at the front of the first one, right click and click paste, and then you're going to come get this ending. Got to make sure you get the ending, copy, do not cut, come to the end of the missions, not in front of it, end of the missions, right click and paste, and it'll block off that, and you shouldn't get an error after that unless you've done something else with the mission thing. So, and anything else you added, any of those things, environment, weed, whatever, if you've changed any of that and put it in your map for a reason, then you need to change your path here and then save it. Okay, and that's going to do it there. And they used to put the hotspot thing in here that we changed just a minute ago. They used to put it in here under gameplay hints. It used to go right here. So that's where they used to put that for that shop thing. So now we've done all of that. I can't think anything I missed other than I want to show you the data area, maps US data, and you can see all these are black except for where we painted. Come in here, now it did work, so now I'm right. So normally I was coming in paint.net and making these black myself, but you see that when we did that extra one, let me show you, it did work. So I'm glad to show you that because I hadn't done it yet. That was my first time. Come under procedural placement, and when we did all these and we did right mouse button and I said I wasn't sure of it, that's what it just did. I want to go show you what it did. It changed them in here, the masks. Let's go back. These masks, it blanked them out too. So that is right what I said. It should be right, and we are done. Now we're going to make sure that we hit save. I think we did, but we're going to make sure that we hit save, and we can bring our career start point. Click career start point, turn this procedural placement off. Right, Control B is in boy, left mouse click, now we'll appear there. We're still going to hit the icon and make us go there, and then we're going to hit save. We're done. Make sure you're working from the map that you've opened from where you're at, because if you got a different one or a copy of one, you don't want to be working from the wrong map. Now, since we have it already in the mods folder, which isn't this one, it's the other one, we already have it in the mods folder like that. We're good to go to open it in the game. Now we're going to go in the game and show you that it works. So I'm trying to hurry. I appreciate everybody. I know I'm talking a little quick, but I don't want the video too long, and I want to make it easy to follow, straight to the point, trying to show you some things. So I hope it works and shows you nicely what you need to do and how and why things happen. I'm not, like I said, I'm not an expert, but as you saw, it did what it's supposed to do. So should everything be good. If there's any errors or anything or something different that I hadn't looked into when in the log, then I'll have to look into it after the fact. But all of it I've been noticing when I do it, it's pretty good. Like I said, you'll get a spline error. You'll get the normal errors that you get when you first do a map. And then all that will be taken care of as you go. So we'll see what we do. Go ahead and get in here, pick another one, continue, turn off the guided tour, go to the map, continue, start. Alright, we're almost done. Bear with me. Appreciate everybody. Go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe. Appreciate everybody. Hope you enjoy. Please stay tuned. Please watch the videos, help the channel while I don't have internet. Watch all the playlists. If you like the channel and you support it, go ahead and watch them. And hope this is helpful to you. And we'll hopefully be starting a map soon, as soon as possible. I don't know. I try not to edit this, but I might just edit out if it takes too long on certain things. But other than that, I'm not going to edit. We'll see. So, there we go. Get in here. And we're going to hit escape first. Alright, and look, there's the thing. If you hadn't done that information right, it would not show this. It would still let you click on the basket. Like, it wouldn't show the building. That's that image I told you about in the placeables XML. It wouldn't show that image if you didn't do that right. Back up because we're standing on it. But this would be here. This would work, but you wouldn't be able to see the store icon where we were just at. Click the tractor, select the tractor, buy the tractor, or lease it. We can lease it. Hit OK, back. Now we're going to go see that the tractor's there. See, that's where we put that little thing. We're on the stuff we painted, so you can see it move where it was supposed to move. So we're going to come on over here real quick, get in the tractor, drive to the spot. We should be right across where the asphalt is. So we drive forward, see it over there, the little icon. If we had a building, we could see it better, but we're going to drive over there and we'll show you that it works. We'll return it. Since we didn't buy it, we'll have to return it. So we're going to drive over there and go in the spot that it shows. See, it's got the little marker and everything. Stop right here, get out, go to the wrench. It has the wrench like I told you from the XML that we did. Hit R and you see it's here. You would click on it, hit return. Yep, and it worked. You can see that it worked. Now, once again, we're going to click in here and you see this here. This is what would not be showing up, and this picture would not show up if you didn't add that information in the placeables and in the other area, which means the store item to your file that you made and added to your map and changed. So you changed it, selling station XML, you changed that, and then you added your store item to call that XML that you changed, and that's why this is showing up. So now, if you open up, now if we'd have left a purple spot and I would have came through these, you would have seen it right there, the purple spot. You would have seen which non-Bible land was. But now we have all the places that we painted. You can see they're painted the way we did, remember? That's how we painted them, see? So you can see it. Now we're going to go to a place, and I'm going to hit the P as in Peter, and then we'll come down to the bottom, click these three lines, click construction, click on the 400 building, and you see it shows it can be placed. But if you had not done that special thing I told you to right click instead of left click on the placement collision generated, then this would not let you. It would say area restricted. And if you see like that is areas restricted, that's what it would be saying here. It's obviously restricted because there's a building there, but if you was to move around, you can see it's okay because we own all the land, because I did 5 that we all own. So you can see it's all placeable. So if you're having area restricted problems, pay attention to my video and you should be able to take care of it. But you see I could place again, just like so. And if you were on the purple area, you couldn't. It would say area restricted. Okay, so that's going to do it. We're going to come out, we'll go check the log, show you that information, and then we'll be done. But that's it for here. Let's get on out, hit quit, and get moving. I appreciate you for staying tuned. I hope it helped. Not perfect, but if I make a mistake, always let me know if you realize it, or if you're unsure or something, or I can help you understand something better. We're going to come in here. You're going to go back, click one back to Farming Simulator 25. You're going to roll down to log, left click, right click, edit with Notepad++, hit yes because it's just reloading it, and then you're going to go to the top. And of course, this is some of this. It popped back down. Sorry about that. Some of that's to do with my computer, so ignore all that. This is all normal stuff, computer and all the stuff that it's not a problem. None of it's got any issues. The mod list doesn't want to load, maybe because I don't have internet and stuff. That's nothing to do with what we just did. All that's normal. Then it says, oh, you got to zip it up for the multiplayer. We know that. I'm not zipping it up because I'm not playing multiplayer, so that's not important. MS means it's loaded and did right. Mod lists, like I said, it's just my error. It's nothing to do with what we did. All this is normal stuff when you first starting, okay? And then this MS, all that's normal. Down list, mod list, that's normal for me. There's nothing wrong with that. All this is normal. Normal. And then this is normal. That's normal. You can see foliage. Those things I told you in that data folder, that's always what you get. Those warnings when you first do a map, those are normal. Okay, we'll be tending to that. Okay, and those are all normal. All the MSs are normal. Normal. No errors. As you see, that's just because I clicked there. No errors. None. See? So no errors. All good. Except the mod list stuff, and that's, like I said, mine's not loading, maybe because I don't have Wi-Fi, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to call that here. I hope you enjoyed. Please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification every time I post a video. Goodbye, everybody.